Hey everybody, welcome to Marvel Movie News. My name is Matt Key, and today we are talking about the new Warriors. We're talking about Squirrel Girl. We're talking about Spider-Man. I have a little bitty theory on Scarlet Witch and Vision getting some romance in Infinity War. And we've got, of course, Thor Ragnarok. Stay right there, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. And now, here's Popcorn Talk's Marvel
It's
Movie
fun.
News.
Yeah.
And I do have a legit theory about Scarlet Witch and Vision. It's just speculation.
Okay.
Just pure,
As
utter-
theories are wont to be.
Oh, wow. Look at you with the sass. All right, I'll take it. How's everyone doing? We good?
We got.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Let's start the show. What do you think? Start the show?
That's a good idea.
Let's start the show.
It's a concept.
It's a concept.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
I would call it a theory.
Let's do it. Let's see what happens.
We are the Marvel Movie News. This is episode 126, coming to you live from a Sakar. How about that, Sakar? We got Thor Ragnarok.
Fitting.
Not a sucker.
Big
We're not
sucker,
coming.
a
We're not
small-
coming
Like a
to you
lollipop?
Oh, I see.
from. Nope, none
Blow
of those
pops
things.
are
We're coming to
awesome.
you live from Sakar. Sakar. Sakar.
Nice.
It's kind of like Scar, but Sakar. We tell you all the news from all the studios and why you should be as excited as we are. So subscribe to us on iTunes at Marvel Movie News or find us at youtube.com/Popcorn Talk Network. Also find us through the website, popcorntalknetwork.com. Also on Twitter at Marvel News PTN or at the Popcorn Talk or on Facebook.com/Marvel News Show. Follow us, like us, tell us all your hopes and dreams, and we'll try to remember.
We'll
Yes.
acknowledge
We'll
them.
try
and
to
encourage
remember
them.
that we
Yes.
have
As-
a
like-
Facebook page.
Yeah.
I'm so
As
bad
long
at
as they're
this.
within 140 characters, we'll acknowledge them.
Your minimalist dreams.
And if you guys will tweet a link to our show with a message telling everybody about the live chat and the thing, come watch the show live right now. Hydra Steve in the booth will retweet you. Hey. He's the Fonz apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hydra Fonz.
Yeah.
Hydra Fonz. Hydra Fonz, Hydra Wife, Hydra Fonz.
Everything works with
It
Hydra.
all works with Hydra. I'm Matt Key at the Matt Key. We're joined by Markeia McCarty at MarkeiaMccarty.
Yes.
But I still feel like I don't have the cadence down.
Close
I'm still
though.
working.
Yeah, I emphasize the E because it's silent, so people
Okay, I'm
always
going to underline that. The
never.
E.
And then I
okay.
emphasize the Y because people think an H comes before the Y and it does not.
It does not. They are wrong.
The E
They
and
are
the Y.
incorrect. And we are joined by Coy Jandro at COYA. This is the first time I messed it up in
ever.
over a year.
Koya.
Koya. At COYJANDREAU.
There it is. There it is.
There we
There's
go.
the magic.
Yeah,
And the
there's
cadence.
the
It's all
magic.
there.
There's
It's
the
all
go.
there.
And Coy, you have some special guests in the house today. Do you want to
Ooh.
introduce us to who's on the Cosmic Couch?
I have friend of the show, live chat contributor extraordinaire, and my mom, Mama Jandro, on the couch.
Mama Chandra!
And alongside my Mama Jandro is her mom, the graciously and loving the Mema. They're here with me today, all the way from the East Coast. My Mema was visiting from Virginia, and my mom from Georgia. So they flew all the way out here for this magic.
Just for
Nice.
this. Just for this.
My mom came out. It was the
Welcome.
coolest thing. My mom bought tickets to a show at the Roxy. Like my mom, and she was like, "I'm gonna go to the Roxy. It's near you, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, mom, come visit." And then my mom came. It was a whole thing. It's been a whirlwind.
Have you been to the Roxy yet?
Yes, we went
who-
on Friday
who'd you
night.
see?
We saw Red.
I'm not familiar with Red.
They're similar
you're-
to Skillet,
You are so much cooler than I am.
and I got their autograph.
What?
Nice. Yes,
They
I like
remembered
that.
me from 2 years ago.
Of course they did.
Ooh.
Who could
forget you?
Who could forget the Stephanie?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So they came out, and we did Universal. We did all the touristy stuff. We
fun.
ran around. Yeah,
Nice.
Harry Potter
That's why
one's
we're
awesome.
pink.
Oh
That's
man,
why they got some
Oh.
sun.
yeah,
Good.
fun. All right.
Yeah, I'm excited. And now my dad and brother were on the show, and then my dad and sister were on. Everyone's been on the show except these two, so they've been very jealous and very longing. And
Well,
here.
you no longer have to be jealous, and I was not there for the other shows.
Oh, that's
so
true.
Now
Were you not?
I was not.
You missed
I was
all of my
not.
family.
Oh, wow.
Basically, when your family's in town, I
You're
don't.
like,
I
yeah,
don't
I'm gonna take a wide berth. I'm sit here clear as much
It's
as
the
possible.
Jandros. I don't know. Maybe not.
Well, we're originally the Merrickses.
Oh,
Which is my middle name. I took my Mema's
Oh.
last name as my middle name.
That's cool.
Yeah, so we had a whole
I'm
family
jealous
thing
of
going.
that.
It's pretty fancy.
I'm not gonna say what my mother's maiden name is because I might get robbed. I don't trust anybody.
Speculation.
Right.
Oh, I thought your mom's
See?
made like she was like exceedingly wealthy.
Yeah.
She was like, the Fords.
Yeah. It's like, what was your dog's name when you were growing up?
What street did you live on when you were 12?
Why do you give me
why
your
it
address?
is this very
What's your
thing?
childhood best friend's name?
Questions you ask yourself all the time.
I
Your
know,
school
all the
mascot.
time.
Tell me.
What color did he wear?
All right. thank you for joining us. It's an honor to have you on the Cosmic Couch.
Thank you for having us.
What's your favorite Marvel movie? Do you have one?
It's definitely Captain America, the first.
The first one, the first
first
Avenger.
Ah,
Uh-huh.
first
all
Avenger.
right.
That's a weird move.
Joe,
Bold.
that's not a weird movie.
has
Joe
a
Johnson
definite-
did really well.
It's a movie that happened.
He's a superhero rocketeer
You know
guy.
the octaves we went up when we said it was so normal? I'm just wondering if you heard the dogs dying in the 3-mile radius. Yeah, Captain America, the first Avengers was a splendid film.
I like the movie.
I love the
John
movie.
Johnson did a great job with
But
it.
then Winter
Yeah.
Soldier and Civil War followed it, so I don't go like, of the three.
Hey, you know what? You know what? Just because those two films were incredible does not discount how good the first one was.
Touche. Touche.
You can get out, sir. You
right.
can get out.
Fine.
Mama, do you have a favorite?
I like Superman.
Oh!
She's on the other side of the fence.
Oh, you're in DC
She
world.
just comes here throwing bows. She's like, I know it's not Marvel. I like
like that.
Superman.
I like. Is it old school?
Hey,
They like Guardians of the
No.
Galaxy very much, which we'll be talking
You know
about.
that one was good.
See? There it is.
It's the Mama. She can like
She
what
can
she
like
wants.
She can like
Whatever
whatever.
she
She's got a
wants.
daughter named like Seal the More.
All right, let's move on to Marvel news.
Superman.
Yeah, like Superman. I thought it would be fun to start with kind of a bigger story, kind of slump into like, these are kind of some smaller stories, and then in with Thor Ragnarok. So,
Okay.
Marvel's New Warriors TV show with Squirrel Girl ordered straight to series. Now, this is a big deal. I don't even know if they've actually filmed a pilot for this. But ABC Freeform, what used to be the ABC's family channel, just ordered like straight to series. Like,
That's pretty cool.
make the pilot. Let's go straight to series with this.
Make it go.
Let's do it. And at the head of that group is Squirrel Girl.
How
Which-
was your house this week?
So it was. I don't want to get too much. So that's my lovely wife Brittany. That's one of her favorite illustrations of Squirrel Girl ever.
Yeah, it's a squirrel girl sitting at a table being just adorkable, and it looks like
Adorkable.
she's about to squeeze icing onto. She's about to pipe icing onto an acorn.
Yeah, onto it like an acorn cake cake, and there's a I think maybe Tippy Toe or Monkey Joe going for the nuts right to her left. Yeah.
Yes, yes, definitely going for the nuts.
Yeah, so it was so great. I woke up, since I do the Screen Junkie stuff in the mornings, like I'm typically up around 6 to start looking for news and stuff. So I woke up, I'm looking for news. It's the very first thing in my email from Variety, like, hey, they just greenlit this. I'm like, well, that's the story today. Like, that's an easy job.
Yeah.
And before I left the house that morning, I like woke up Brittany. It must have been like around 7 o'clock, and I was like, "Hey, guess what? You're getting a Squirrel Girl series." And she's like, "Really?" And she was just like, even out of her sleep, she was like, "That's the best news ever." Like, she went right back to sleep. It was the best. It was a great day. It was a
I
great
imagine the
day.
whole week has
Adorable.
just been like, remember anything that goes wrong today?
Squirrel Girl. Yeah.
There's just
And
like a
I have-
resolution.
I have a lot of friends who are big fans of Squirrel
Yeah.
Girl. Like the co-host on the Wednesday Club show that I do on Wednesdays, Amy Dolan, giant fan of Squirrel Girl. Like
And
it's
she's a very Squirrel Girl type human.
yeah, and like she knows her stuff.
Yeah.
So like so.
Nice.
That makes it sound like my wife doesn't know her stuff. She knows her stuff too.
Well,
so
just because what do you say, Amy?
Amy Dolan, yeah.
Amy, just because Amy doesn't mean Brittany doesn't.
No, I just want to make
They
sure
only
that
have
like
so much knowledge this shit.
I know,
One
just gotta
learns a fact,
stretch it
the
out.
other forgets.
forgets it. Oh my god,
Brittany
that would
wakes
be
up like,
the,
"Oh,
that
no!"
would be the worst sci-fi ever. Like
Just like
constantly
two people that
fight
only
for
know
knowledge.
one thing.
Oh my god, I want to know the answer to 1 + 1. Oh, I forgot it.
One gets blackout drunk and the other one's like, I feel so informed.
So anyway, there's a new series coming out. We're so off topic already. My God, what are we doing? So anyway, so New Warriors are starting up. There's no other information on it except that it is about 6 young people with powers living and working together with powers and abilities on the opposite end of the spectrum of the Avengers. The New Warriors want to make a difference in the world, even if the world isn't ready. Not quite super, not yet heroes. Marvel's New Warriors is about that time in your life when you first enter adulthood and feel like you can do everything and nothing at once. Except in this world, bad guys can be as terrifying as bad dates. So that's
In LA especially.
yeah. So it's like kind of like the rated G version of Friends meets the Avengers.
I'd say Friends was PG, sir.
Yeah.
There were times
were
that
moments.
unquestionable
Then
adult
I'm
content.
PG-13.
Then I'm-
Did you see Aniston's nipples
PG-13.
consistently? Because you did.
Look. That's why he didn't call Friends PG. Like
Okay.
Friends was already
Okay.
PG. This is a
I see.
G-rated
I
version
see.
of
Of
the PG Friends.
Yeah, it's interesting that they're doing this, especially with Runaways coming out on Hulu. So I'm like, well, maybe a lot of the properties are just up for grab, and they're really trying to hit that next generation, that next market.
I think they are. I think they're
Yeah.
trying to get all the younger stuff into like the TV world. And honestly, I think they're trying to give CW a run for the money, especially on Freeform.
That's going to be a tough
Yeah.
run.
And
right.
here's why I say that. I want to get back to New Warriors and kind of take some guesses as to who the characters might be. But
Right.
while we're on the subject, I want to say, let's see, it was Carrie Burke, the network executive vice president over at Freeform, said the characters they've chosen for the show are all really singular and could each carry the show that they're on. They're bound together as a band of underdogs for as long as we choose, but it's conceptually tailor-made for spin-offs. So it sounds like instead of doing what the CW did with Arrow and then being like, hey, this works, let's put the Flash in there and see how it goes. Oh, people love the Flash.
They're going
Let's
the
go.
other way.
They're going the other way, which is almost exactly kind of what DC is
Which is
almost
their
doing.
TV
Like
film.
they're doing kind of a similar tactic,
the Justice
saying,
League
Yeah.
thing.
here's Squirrel Girl, and here's like 5 other characters maybe you heard of.
It's
Right,
kinda
but even
like-
Squirrel Girl's a stretch.
Yeah, even that.
Yeah.
Like, if that's their headliner, like, Squirrel Girl and Friends. Who and Friends? For, like, a lot of people, Squirrel
Yeah.
Girl's a very confusingly obscure character.
You know what
so.
it reminds me of? It reminds me of Spice Girls. It reminds me of K-pop. Well, it's because they'll have like these, bigger groups.
Yeah.
The magic number seems to be 5 to 17, depending on K-pop or J-pop what you listen to.
You are educating me so much right now.
Oh,
Please,
really?
like, for real, keep going. This is
Yeah,
this is
no, but
fascinating.
it's even they did it with Pussycat Dolls, where it's just these are all singing groups.
Sure. No,
where it's like
Pussycat Dolls and Spice Girls I'm on. Like, K-pop,
that same-
I'm familiar with. I just don't know how...
There
Keep going. You're going.
Or
I'm
it's
on
like
board.
the Beatles. There's always
Sure.
going to be somebody that somebody else is going to relate to. So
Yeah.
if you have 5 to 7 of them, then somebody's going to get on board with.
Yeah.
So they'll be like, "Oh, I love Firestar. Oh, Squirrel Girl's cool, but Firestar. Oh,
Yeah.
or Scarlet Spider's my dude. That kind of a thing."
Yeah.
He is my dude.
He is your
He
dude.
is his dude.
So
He is his dude.
I think that they're going with Squirrel Girl because I think she's really hot right now. Like, I think she in sort of Marvel culture, it's like everyone loves Squirrel Girl. Like, and her comic is great. Like,
Yeah.
her comic is really funny. It's really
it doesn't
great.
hurt that celebrities are tweeting that they want to be her.
Exactly.
That
doesn't
doesn't
hurt.
hurt.
She's like the cult darling. Like, she's the train spotting.
That's actually
of
a
Squirrel
really
Girl.
good way to put it.
Like, she's the film student favorite, like Donnie Darko train spotting of the Marvel universe. She's
Yeah.
like the one everybody talks about, but nobody sees in theaters.
Yeah, she was like Howard the Duck in the 80s when he first hit. Like,
Right.
everyone was like, Howard the Duck, yes! Like, she's taken that sort of mantle right now where everyone, like, if you're in the know, like, you're like, yeah, Squirrel Girl, she's great. She's really cool.
Now,
And
did we fan cast her at your home?
I have always loved the idea that she is Shannon Purser from...
I do not know that name.
Yes, you do. She was Barb in Stranger Things.
I do know that
Oh,
name.
right,
That is a
right.
fan favorite.
And she has stated in the past she's a giant fan of Squirrel Girl. Would love to play Squirrel Girl.
I'd have to see more of her work
Yeah,
to be
the only
on board
one-
with that. I mean, when you really think about it, yes, she's like a cult favorite of, I've watched so much TV lately.
Stranger Things?
Stranger Things, thanks. Not 13 Reasons Why, which is what I just finished binging. Yeah, I would just want to see some more of her work before. I think
Sure.
she's got a good look and a good energy, but just want to see some more.
The big one that a lot of people are saying, I think it's Mae Whitman. Is that her name? She was in Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
I
That's
like.
the big one. A lot of people really want her.
I got 3.
Oh, of course you
It
do.
seems like they're going young with it, though.
Mine are not as young, but if she's the leader, I'd want a little older so she could lead the team a little bit more. But like in like the Kitty Pryde mantle, where she's a little bit older than the other students, but she's still youthful.
Right.
I like Kristen Schaal from The Daily Show. She's an actress.
well,
as
and a lot of
and
other things.
every comedy you see
And
her
she's
pop up in.
fun.
Sure.
And she's great, and she has a cool look that isn't gonna be like. I don't want Squirrel Girl to be too like just stunning. Like I don't want the
Sure.
Squirrel Girl to be like the stereotypically attractive superhero.
Sure.
Which is why also Kate McKinnon, because Kate McKinnon's gorgeous in the most quirky of ways, and
Yeah.
Kate McKinnon's Ghostbusters was the one I wanted to see.
Yeah.
Like Ghostbusters was 4 movies. Kate McKinnon's movie was the best one.
Sure.
And then Anna Kendrick is Squirrel Girl to me. Like
Those
Anna
are
Kendrick.
all 3 like
are mine.
cinema, like
You know who's going to TV? Everyone wants to get paid.
I guess, but it's ABC Freeform. Like, it's not a giant network.
They're
I
trying to
don't-
beat CW.
I think it's probably going to be an unknown. Either that
think it's
or
gonna be an
probably,
unknown.
you said Shannon Purser?
Yeah, Shannon Purser. Yeah.
Shannon Purser?
She's an unknown.
Yeah, exactly. So it'll probably somebody
And,
a
like,
little
she
bit
fits
smaller,
the
but maybe
bill,
with
like,
the
she's
energy
quirky
of
and
like
fun,
a
and
Right.
Anna Kendrick. Or,
Yeah, I could see her playing it. personally.
I'm in.
So, who else do we want to see? Because let's go down the roster real quick from the new Warriors. There's Justice. There's Speedball.
Speedball's great.
They'll have Speedball.
Yeah,
they'll have
he's,
Speedball.
He's who I
yeah.
think of with that team.
Yeah, and his Speedball. His powers is that he's a bouncy ball. like when you
Perfect. It's
when you
built
boil
for
it down, his power is that he's a
ball.
bouncy ball.
Yeah, it's
And
like
his personality is that of a bouncy ball.
the kid. Yeah, it's like the kid from Hook. You just want to see him turn into a ball.
Yes.
It's true.
Yes.
That is it.
Oh my god.
I
what was
played
that
him in a
guy's
play
name?
once.
Oh my
It was
god, I
fun.
love you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got
good.
Nova, possibly. That could be a little hard to maybe pull off on
TV budget.
Yeah.
but
look at the budget.
you could still do it.
Right.
You could still do it. I would be a little disappointed if it was Nova because I really want to see him in the movies. Now
I
that
do
like
too.
I've talked about not Schwarzenegger. God, that would be amazing,
Stallone
wouldn't
and
it?
Rosenbaum, that
Yeah,
theory is so
oh,
strong.
I love it. Though we've got a new theory on who Stallone is.
Oh.
Oh, that's
That
right.
later on the show?
That's
later
later,
on the
in the show. It's a couple of pages down.
So yeah, those are the there's also Rage and there's also Night Thrasher, who's basically like super duper like poor man budget Batman. Like he's like, I want to be a vigilante. I'm gonna put on some pads
Does he have a
and
Isn't,
skateboard?
maybe
I think
Isn't-
Night Thrasher is a
maybe
skateboard.
I think he
Look
does.
up.
Isn't Darkhawk one, or am I?
Darkhawk
am I
I
doing
think
like
was
that's like
one at one time, and he would
second-
actually be pretty
second
cool to
version?
do too because
'Cause
he's
it-
like.
You know, just
He would
Put him
just
in a
like
suit.
have an android like basically
Exactly.
is like I'm gonna transfer my consciousness to this future android that I have with a crystal. Like yeah. I don't know why he sounds like a nerd in my head.
yeah.
Night
For
Thrasher
some
has a
reason he
skateboard.
did.
Yeah, of course he does.
He does
Yeah.
it. It's a pretty great skateboard.
So anyway, yeah. So that's. I'm like legit excited. Like I was excited for Cloak and Dagger. Now I'm really like I'm like oh man I'm gonna have to figure out a way to get cable now, because like I have to see these shows.
Yeah.
I have to see these shows.
Well,
I got
maybe they'll release on something else like Amazon Prime. Or,
Yeah, maybe.
With cord cutting what it is, hopefully there's just a network we can just like a Marvel like umbrella.
Here's the other
That'd be
thing.
nice.
The original team that Squirrel Girl belonged to was the Great Lakes Avengers.
Oh, with Hawkeye. No wait, which one am I thinking
don't
of?
know that Hawkeye. Maybe Hawkeye led it during the initiative,
Okay.
maybe, and then was like, "Screw this team, you guys are all ridiculous." So here's
Lakes Avengers.
here's their roster. There's a dude named Mr. Immortal. His power is that he can die, but he comes back to life. That's all.
So he's Kenny.
Yeah, he's basically just
Yeah.
Kenny. So like, it's not that he can't die. He totally dies. He just comes back later, depending on how dead he was deaded, I guess. So like, if you shoot, if you cut him and he bleeds to death, like it's like, oh my god, this is the
will take
worst
a
thing
while.
ever. This is like he'll slowly die, but then come back to life pretty quickly because the wound wasn't bad. But if you shoot him in the face and blow his head off, it may take him a day to come back, but he'll always come back.
Okay, or he's like, was it the in Preacher, the television show, the Angels?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very much like that, but he doesn't regenerate as fast.
Okay.
So, like, he has the worst power. Like, it's the worst power. Then there's also Flatman, who's basically Mr. Fantastic, but two-dimensional. And that's, like, he can squeeze under doors.
Yeah. Must be
there's-
difficult to buy clothing.
There's, so there's Flatman, there's Mr. Immortal, the dude that looks like Speedball. The guy on the left is Doorman, and he kind of looks like a Spider-Man ripoff with a Moon Knight cape. And his power is that he can open portals. He's the only one who's actually kind of legitimately a hero on this entire team. And then Big Bertha is a supermodel by day, but when she needs to be a hero, she can turn herself into a human ton, like blob, super strong hero. But she's a supermodel during the day.
How are they gonna make this watchable?
I'm not saying that they're going to use them.
No,
I'm
I know,
saying
but
Yeah,
these are the
those are
characters.
no, these are the
These are
characters.
Great Lakes Avengers. I'm saying,
These
like,
are-
if they ever go that
Yeah.
way, like, are any of these marketable?
I'm just saying, Mr. Immortal is kind of great. I would actually kind of love to see Mr. Immortal in the new
Well,
Warriors.
They could have them sitting somewhere eating shawarma. I mean, that would work.
All right, it's
It's a
probably
great
time for
SNL
us to
skit
move
around
on.
the corner.
Yeah. Or they're like at the cherry pit and they're just like having some milkshakes.
Yep, it's gonna be a little moment for the fans.
Yeah, and Asi Kanga Sharjus, hopefully I said that right, at The Real Exosis. I hope that answered your question of what characters we want to see in the new Avengers TV show.
Mr. Immortal. It's the worst answer ever, but I actually would kind of love to see like such a terrible character.
You've got
brought
Matt
to life.
$16, Marvel. You've got Matt $16.
I'll give 20 for Mr. Immortal. It's so bad. It's so dumb. But they've got $25 from me just based on Squirrel Girl. All right, Jessica Jones got some casting news.
Yes.
I am not familiar with this actress or Janet McTeer. You guys familiar with Ms. McTeer's work? EW is reporting that that Janet McTeer, who was I think she was Oscar nominated. I believe she won a Golden Globe. Maybe I'm wrong, but she's like a major oh my god actress.
Okay, she doesn't even look familiar to me.
Yeah, she looks
Is
familiar
she a
to me.
character actress?
I don't think so. I think
Okay.
she's she plays like very specific dramatic roles.
It
I
took
think.
me a while to realize that Tom Hardy was an actual person because he was, So
That's the best quote
saying.
ever.
As opposed to.
Well, like as an actor person, that was that same person doing all of those.
He's the
roles.
best actor ever. Well, that's why. He's the best
Yeah,
actor of
because
his
he's such a
generation.
great character actor.
Yeah, he
you
really
know?
Him
is.
and Jake Gyllenhaal are perfect men. She was in Me Before You, the very underrated tearjerker from 2016.
Anything
all right.
else?
The underrated tearjerker from 2016. Me Before
So
You.
anyway, she was cast in the series as an undisclosed character who will have an enormous impact on Jessica's life. Very vague description that gives us.
Very.
She could be a villain. She
She
could be
is
a hero.
in
She
the
could be an
show,
ally.
Jessica
Yeah.
Jones.
Yeah, that's basically all it is. Hey, we have this character. She's in the show a lot.
And she
There
looks
you
like
go.
someone that could fit any good, bad. She's not.
Yeah. There's. So I would need to go watch her. The White Queen in Damages is what we have here.
Oh, okay, things I haven't seen.
Yeah, exactly. So I've
congrats to
got.
Janet
Hey,
McTeer.
Yeah.
let's put this to our Merry Marvelites. Have you guys seen Ms. McTeer? Is she? Would she be a good villain or a good hero? Let us know
Yeah.
as fast as you can because we're live.
Yeah, because I'm guessing it could be any of Jessica's family because they're all
Yeah, I mean it
they're
could
gone.
possibly be like
Something-
an aunt or something, maybe. But even then, I
the
doubt
physician route. Maybe
Yeah.
she's the one that injected her with
Yeah.
IGHs.
Oh, that's cool.
That's a possibility.
You know-
to save her life. Now I own you.
that. Now I own you. Do what I say. Do my bidding, Jessica Jones. I don't know why she sounds like a very hairy man. So here's my thought. When I first saw her, I think she's the CEO of IGH.
She does look.
She has a CEO-ish look, right?
Yeah, like a corporate high up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
I buy it.
Okay.
So I think that she is like the CEO of IGH or like someone high up. I think like going along with your theory,
Yeah.
I think that she has something to do with IGH in some way. And I think that
And then
Jessica
it could be
Jones.
a route of I created you. I am your mom.
Yeah.
Like I own you.
I
You
own
need to do
you.
this for me.
I own you. Eat this apple. I don't know why she's like.
Still here,
She
guys,
she
making
became
amends.
Maleficent.
Yeah, she became a hairy man version of Maleficent. Her sweet man. Her sweet. HIRSUT.
When does
not
Jones
hers.
drop? Do we have a date?
We don't have a date,
Okay.
but we do know that it just started
Yeah, knew
filming
that,
like
okay.
within a fortnight
Because
ago.
we got Defenders Punisher, presumably Jones.
Presumably Punisher. We
Yeah.
have no release
But
date
then
for
we
that yet.
do have
For all we know, they're
other
gonna.
but it wrapped.
Netflix
Yeah.
Marvel stuff to talk about too.
Yeah, Punisher's wrapped,
Right.
but there's no release date for it yet. So for all I know, like Netflix is looking at it going, Iron Fist, maybe this isn't ready to go.
Well, Scott
Like,
Buck wasn't in
oh,
charge of it.
Yeah,
No, he
no,
wasn't.
and John Bernthal was in it, so
Sorry,
I'm sure it's fine.
that's the.
I'm sure.
I worked on my sassy out.
Keep the sass in. Keep the sass in. I like the sass. All right, so moving on to the other Netflix news that you were talking about. Daredevil 3 is probably going to start filming later this year. You're excited about that? Is that one
I
of your
love
favorites, Stephanie?
Daredevil.
Yeah?
Absolutely. We marathoned it.
Yeah?
Yeah, we did each season in 2 nights each.
Whoa.
Wow,
So,
that's commitment. I love that.
Yeah.
Favorite season was 1 or 2?
1.
Yeah?
That's
Yeah.
most people's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
like.
like 2 more, but I'm in the Few the Proud.
Well, my favorite season was 1. But my favorite of the 2 is how they handle the Punisher.
Ah.
So like it's a weird thing for me. It's like if I want to watch the whole season through, it's season 1. If I'm gonna I kind of want to see like the highlights of Daredevil. Like I'll go watch
yes.
So
the
the
Punisher
peaks in
stuff.
2 are higher than the peaks in 1, but 1 overall.
Good way to put it. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Good way
See,
to put
I
it.
like season 2 as the best of any Netflix series.
Wow.
Season 2 is my
that is-
favorite Netflix series.
Bold statement.
Yeah. Stand by it.
I'm glad the sass is still there.
I know.
Yeah, I figured it out. I
going
figured it out.
anywhere.
Season 2 is my favorite
Yeah.
Netflix.
That was a good one.
Oh, this isn't
Bold
water. It's
statement.
just sass.
Just
Bold
a
statement.
cup full of sass, and I stand by it. It's a great show.
Well, that's great. Do you have have you seen the Daredevils?
No.
No, no.
I just got
The
Mama
Mama.
into Netflix like 2 days ago, and she watched
Ooh.
all of Grace and Frankie in
Nice.
in the time she was here.
Nice.
Nice.
So-
Welcome to the time suck.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's all over.
Yes,
She's going
Netflix.
back and making her own kombucha and starting a Netflix account, and she
You
went.
make your own kombucha?
She's going
That's
to.
She's starting now. She's been googling, so it's like I made her so LA in a
I
week.
love
Wow.
that.
Wow.
I love that.
I broke my
Had my
nuts.
first smoothie.
Oh.
Did my first selfie.
Yeah, did the first selfie. I've been catching up for lost time.
You
Wow.
taught her well.
Yeah, you had brunch, from what I understand.
Yep. Welcome to Los Angeles. Brunch, Netflix, selfies, kombucha.
Yep.
That's our lives. That's our lives.
Yeah, that's LA in a blender, and there it is.
So Marvelites, come visit me. I'll teach you how to LA.
So Charlie Cox was on a radio show called Film and Telly Stuff with Luke and Al, and when asked about Daredevil, he said, "I do that later in the year. We'll go back and do that." So he films later this year, which means they're probably looking at a 2018 release. Probably, my guess is August of next year.
I'm excited.
good.
I
That's-
love. Yeah.
So
It's my birthday month.
August is?
Yeah.
That's my mother's birthday month.
Oh, well, great.
Means nothing to you. It means something to me though. Now I'll remember your birthday a little bit better because I have
So
association
I
with
have
it.
2 aunts that share my birthday month also. And
all
one aunt
September.
that shares my birthday.
Oh. I'm an October baby. Not giving you the date because then you'll steal all my stuff. All right.
What was your mom's maiden name again?
I almost answered it. I was like, oh, wait.
Wait, what street did you grow up on?
Not telling you. Not telling you. Inhumans. All right, guys. I'm getting a little more and more nervous about this Inhumans thing.
Oh.
I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna preface with that, and I want someone to calm me down on it and assure me that everything's gonna be okay. Inhuman synopsis is reportedly released. Now, this is not an official synopsis. It came from Spoiler TV, and the synopsis, as they reported it, is: after the royal family of Inhumans is splintered by a military coup, they barely escape to Hawaii, where their surprising interactions with the lush world and humanity around them may prove to not only save them, but Earth itself.
You guys, remember that beautiful week, that whole week where I was like, the casting of these Inhumans is so good, I'm an Inhumans guy. Mm-hmm. That's been destroyed by these 3 sentences of pure stupidity. The Inhumans go on vacation. The Inhumans
Wow.
go to
He's filled with
Hawaii.
bold
The
statements.
Inhumans literally like saunter down and that's bull. This is not.
Can I? Sorry, Markia, go ahead.
Yeah. I am perturbed. We'll say
Perturbed.
that's a good word for it.
It is a good word.
They have all of this material. They have all this amazing material. This
It's a Kirby
this
invention. Come on.
Exactly.
Come on.
And then they just subtract all of that and they start at them on vacation. And
Yeah.
for people that don't know them, they're going to start with them on vacation in Hawaii. How does anyone think that is a really great start for this property?
Can I tell you what I hear when I
Okay.
read this?
Yeah.
Tax incentive, tax incentive, tax incentive.
No.
I mean, they're not Adam Sandler. You can't just,
no.
like,
I
we're going to
hear.
set this in Hawaii.
I hear. Remember that incredible Marvel property named Iron Fist? This incredible property. It's called Iron Fist. And he's from this magical city called Kunlun, or Kunlun, however you want to say it. And the show was produced by a man named Scott Buck, who didn't show Kunlun, or Kunlun. Now he's doing the Inhumans and going, hey, this incredible city called Adelan that they're from? Let's go to Hawaii. Like, I'm just like,
When I think moon, I think Hawaii.
Yeah. I mean, like,
Maybe it's very lush moon. No.
yeah. Like, I just like
Our moon on the other side, real green
Yeah.
and sandy.
I don't.
Yeah.
Scott Buck has me trigger shy on the Inhumans
I get
now.
it.
Like,
Yeah.
and I don't want to be because I love like Black Bolt's one of my top 5 characters. Like, I want to love this show. Scott Buck has me a little nervous. This has me, and this is rumored. This
Yeah.
may not be the deal. This
But-
may be someone just making something up, or they heard something and they're like, I can make this up. Like, I know kind of what it's about. I'm going to start a rumor, whatever.
But they are shooting in Hawaii.
They're
That's a
shooting in
fact.
Hawaii. There's a military coup, so it's not technically vacation. They just kind of got forced out, and they ended up in Hawaii. And they're like, "Hey, these humans aren't too bad after all. Let's hang out with them." Like, I get it.
Yeah.
They're from the
I just,
But they're
I
not
guess,
necessarily from the moon.
I
I
guess
know, but
it's
that's the
just-
modern Inhuman. Like, you
Yeah,
think of,
sure, sure.
yeah,
Mark,
I just the disconnect though is like if you have what this synopsis appears to be,
Yeah.
how do you have the Inhumans that then we're pretty close to Infinity War,
Yeah.
and we have Thanos' guys
Yeah.
doing like the whole Infinity Stone search. Then how can you have these people that are hanging out in Hawaii with how can you have that be where Lockjaw is going to be taking out some of Thanos' guys?
on
It's
the
like
beach.
where's on the beach?
Picturesque beach.
He's
See,
gonna be playing
Just
frisbee
playing
with
fetch,
Lockjaw.
rub it down to- yeah, it's good.
I just so I think as the two, like, as Marvel Television and the Marvel Cinematic Universe continue, I think they're just becoming more and more separate.
Yeah.
And like the movies are never going to point at television, and television's always going to do its best to piggyback on what the films are doing to generate more revenue and get more eyes on their show. But the movies are never going to reciprocate. Like,
yeah,
Skywalker
no, and they
doesn't allow
shouldn't.
for it.
and
They
Inhumans
shouldn't.
is only, I think, 8 to 10 episodes. I can't remember the exact number, but it's a limited series. It's very much like Agent Carter was. So I don't think they're going to have any interaction at all with the
Well,
cinematic
no, I'm
universe.
I'm not saying that they have the interaction with them. I'm saying to get them and build up their history to a point where that is possible.
Oh,
Where
yeah.
you can have it possible, like, yeah, this is a universe where this can happen.
Yeah.
And it's like just from these 3 sentences, maybe there's more, but did see Iron Fist and there wasn't a dragon. There wasn't a dragon. He
I
didn't
mean,
even
this-
hug a dragon. I expected him to at least hug a dragon for
or
the
at least
transfer.
sing a lullaby. They don't
Something.
even have to be in the same scene. Just like he walks into a cave and there's a dragon, like,
Or maybe,
yo, what up?
the digging his hands into the molten
Something.
heart, something.
Something.
So it's just
Something.
it just seems like this particular showrunner focuses on averaging out the really spectacular parts of
a good
these
way to put
characters
it.
that we love.
It's a really good way to put it.
I mean, there's mainstream, and then there's just what this is. What
Yeah,
this
I
has
don't
been
understand why he wants to watch it. Look, we're making a lot of assumptions.
We are
here.
making a lot of assumptions
These
right
3
now.
sentences were very upsetting.
Yeah.
We're making
So,
a lot of assumptions.
Let's move on to something that we know a little bit more about.
Indeed.
And that is Stallone's mystery role in Guardians of the Galaxy. We know nothing about this, by the way. That was a joke. All right, so here, we talked about this a little bit a couple weeks ago. I was saying that I thought he might be like a Nova Corps, like maybe Richard Rider. Turns out I might be very wrong.
Oh.
Turns out maybe Michael Rosenbaum is a Richard Rider or something like that but I don't think we're gonna get Nova at all.
Yeah.
I don't think and which is disappointing because I think Sam Alexander is a great character to play with and to bring into the Marvel Universe for Phase 4. Probably not gonna get it, and that's okay. But what we do have, our good friends at the MCU Exchange a couple weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago now, got their hands on the junior novelization of the Guardians of the Galaxy film.
Okay.
As far as I understand what that means, the junior novelization is a telling of the book. It's, hey, here's the book, here's the plot, here's everything that happens, but it's in very young adult, YA, PG language and such. So,
Is it safe to say this is a spoiler?
yeah, this could be a spoiler. I mean, it's a week old. If you haven't already heard it, maybe
Well,
tune out for the
maybe
next
if you
like 5
say
minutes.
it in
But
Italian, then it
Then it's
won't be
fine.
a
We're good.
spoiler for
yeah,
everybody.
look, I'm gonna butcher this. Nel Ruolo de Staccar. How did I do?
I don't know. I don't know. I
I
speak
don't know.
Italian.
Yeah. Nel Ruolo de Staccar.
It's Matt's weekly offend subnationality segment.
God, I'm so bad. I tried though. I'm trying.
did. It was
Like
good.
someone in Italy, please tell me how to actually pronounce that correctly. All right, so they got their hands on this, and so again, minor spoilers. Yondu walks into a bar. There's what you go. So Yondu, a Ravager, walk into a bar, buddy. Yondu walks into a bar, sees a group of Ravagers in blue uniforms. Now, I will say that the uniform I saw Stallone in at San Diego Comic-Con was blue, which is why I immediately assumed, oh, he's a Nova Corps somehow. Turns out, maybe not. Among the people in the blue uniforms, Stallone or Yondu sees a man described as a legend among the Ravagers who is having a conversation, and he drops the name Aletta. And then they go on to say Yondu has a conversation, and it ends with the man who is never named in the book exiling Yondu from the Ravagers, telling him he won't hear no horns of freedom when you die, and the colors of Ogard will not flash over your grave. So let me in.
Now say, Adrian.
Adrian. Actually, if I were going to say that more as still I want to be like, yeah, you won't hear no horns of freedom when you die, and the colors of Ogard will not flash over your grave. Is that good? Was that good?
Yeah. I did
Thank
Stallone
you,
on movie
thank you,
fights, and
everybody.
it sounded like Bernie Sanders. So I have no. I did a pretty solid Bernie Sanders.
All right, so now let me help unpack this a little bit further. There's a website called Movies Book, and a lot of other places ran with this once it was discovered. There's an Italian document that gives a casting rundown for the film, and its final line says Stallone will be playing a character named Stakar, Stakra. So Stakar, as we see there, we're scrolling down to this press release, whatever, that was in Italy. Stakar, Stakar, Neruolo de Stakar. Stallone plays Stakar. Stakar is Starhawk. Stakar Ogard is Starhawk. He was one of the original Guardians. So the absolutely 100% 1969 original Guardians were Vance Astro, an astronaut from Earth sent 1,000 years into the future. Charlie 27, a man 1,000 years in the future who was genetically bred on Jupiter. Martinex, a human who was born to survive the extremes of Pluto's environment. Yondu Udanta, who Michael Rooker plays, he was actually from Alpha Centauri. And then Starhawk later joined Stakar Ogard. So it sounds as if what James Gunn has done is, instead of making the original Guardians of the Galaxy, he's made them all Ravagers.
That's fun.
Oh, okay.
I like
Because
that.
Yondu was
He's
a
already
Ravager.
Yeah.
Right.
Starhawk is a Ravager.
Stakar now.
Stakar, Ogard, which is why he says, and the colors of Ogard will not flash over your grave. I just like reading it. Like, I know that doesn't sound anything like Stallone. And the colors of Ogard will not flash over your grave. There, I fixed it. For all those of you in Stallone land, please tell me how to pronounce that correctly.
Not to be confused with Hulkland.
Yeah, Hulkland. Aletta is a very so that's the actual original Guardians of the Galaxy. Let's see, we got Martinex on the left, or is that Vance Astro? It's hard to tell from here.
It's a little bit darker.
Yondu Udanta's in the back, and Charlie 27 is the giant kind of behind them who was bred to withstand the gravity of Jupiter. Starhawk gets his power from the hawk god of, I believe, Centaurus? No, Arcturus 4, I think. Or is this Arcturus, I believe. And he is invulnerable. He is a precognitive.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Has energy projection. And after he got all of his powers from the hawk god of Arcturus, it was done with his stepsister, Aletta, who he mentioned by name here. And they have a very confusing history where they both inhabit the same body in some capacity, and depending on what the needs are, Aletta will come out sometimes, and sometimes it's Stakar. And at one point, they both separated, had babies, and it was weird and whatever. So
kind of like Carrie and Carrie from Legion.
yes,
Okay.
exactly like that. So.
So James Gunn's the biggest geek we know. He's pulling the deepest nerd cards.
Yeah,
and
that
making
is such a deep nerd card.
a single image of.
If we see Stallone and he suddenly changes into a woman named Aletta, I will cheer. I will stand up in the middle of the I will, yes, you win every geek card ever.
Now, how do you tie that into Rosenbaum?
Oh, I can't.
Right?
Right?
They're connected. We've heard they're connected. Unless Rosenbaum is the woman.
No, there's no way he would be like,
Have you
hey,
seen Sorority Boys? It's incredible.
I'm just,
That's
not.
Rosenbaum as a woman.
I'm just saying, I highly doubt in today's climate that James Gunn would be like, you know what I'm going to do instead of casting a woman? Cast a white male. Like, that wouldn't backfire fast. None of us would be upset by that. So I think that this holds water, though. I really, really do. Because, like, I've seen him wearing blue at San Diego Comic-Con. Do you like blue? Sorry, it's a weird thing. Okay, sorry. Stay on topic, Matt. It's the coffee. I blame the coffee. Yeah. So I think that this is actually who it is.
All right.
I
It sounds like a very
don't know
solid
him.
theory.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the all of
Starhawk's
those
a
are
weird
very,
dude.
Yeah.
very deep cuts.
Yeah.
So it's like,
But if
I
James
s-
Gunn, and if anyone's gonna do it, I trust James Gunn to do the weirdest of weird. So like every
Yeah.
time anything's mentioned, I'm like, could be that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I trust it. Like
Definitely good.
I'm so carte blanche. Like I'm so
Yeah.
open to whatever they throw at me with Guardians.
Oh my god, I just got it. Michael Rosenbaum is playing either Martin X or Vance Astro.
Oh, I'd love that. Oh, because they're
okay.
tied together to the original Guardians, so that puts
That
them
would make
together,
sense.
and that
Boop.
makes them all the Ravagers.
And that would make them
And-
the Ravagers. I doubt he's playing Charlie 27 because Charlie 27 is the size of Juggernaut.
right.
Mm-hmm.
I can see Vince Astro though.
But Vance Astro,
Vance Astro.
Vance
Yes.
Astro, yeah, who goes on to become Major Victory.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think that would, all right, I'm on board. I think that would be cool. I just now had that thought. I was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
the original
although,
Guardians.
If they did have Charlie 27, then that'd be somebody that Drax could play with.
Ooh, he would be a giant Ravager for Drax to play patty cake with.
I
That
love
would
how
be
little we know.
great.
This movie comes out.
Yeah.
I know.
soon.
Very
Speaking
soon.
of movies we know very little of, Thor Ragnarok. Can't wait
Oh,
to
you
get to
don't
that.
say.
All right,
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
move
so
on.
let's-
So I've got a very brief theory here that I want to go over. Scarlet Witch and Vision romance. All right, so a couple weeks ago, I think like third week of March, a video came out from the set in Old Town Edinburgh showing. I don't have any pictures for this except for maybe like the Vision and Scarlet Witch kissing. In the comic books, not like the actor and actress. There was a video of Vision in Old Town Edinburgh. So, Scarlet Witch, I believe, is shooting in a very similar location to that currently,
Okay.
which would put Scarlet Witch and Vision in the same place at the same time. Now, we also saw Vision fighting a dude in a mocap suit, and he had like
Yeah.
The-
Corvus Glaive.
we're all assuming it's Corvus Glaive. We don't know that for
Yeah.
sure. For all we know, it's like a lot of soldiers who
And Proxima was the other one. Proxima
Midnight. Yeah, but it was a male doing the mocap suit. Like so,
Well,
I know it doesn't fully
it's-
matter, but I would rather see like a female in a mocap suit if she's playing Proxima
Yes, I would
Midnight.
also
like,
prefer diversity behind the camera.
So,
yes.
there they are. They're kissing and in love, and they're shocking. Black Knight and Crystal. So, anyway, so we know we can assume they're in the same location at the same time, and they're both fighting the same person in the mocap suit, from what I can tell, with the same weapon.
Okay.
So my guess is we haven't seen any of the other Avengers around. Scarlet Witch, when she was in Civil War, we saw her with Captain America's team. Vision was with Iron Man's. So that means Scarlet Witch is on the run. So if Vision has caught up to her, like what if he was looking for her? What if he's going to find her and be like, hey, look, you're on the run. I know where you're at. I'm not going to turn you in because I care for you. But maybe if you like turn yourself in, we can get you back. We can clear some charges. We can figure this out. I think that might be what's kind of going on. And then they both get attacked by Corvus Glaive.
That sounds solid.
Yeah, and then babies.
And then
But
like
then Vision's death.
And then Infinity.
Yeah.
yeah, and then Corvus
That's-
Glaive is like, you have
me
the
that stone."
you have the Mind Stone. I want the
want
Mind
it.
Stone. I don't know what that's probably exactly how it
Phase
sounds.
Is that how
4
it
is
sounds?
so weird.
Yeah.
Like the last 20 minutes, I've been sitting here just in my own head about how weird it is.
Doesn't surprise me that you're sitting there thinking about weird things.
Because like we're talking characters that are so deep 70s. We're talking like the how.
Well,
What?
this is phase 3. Like we're not even in phase 4 yet.
I know, but
Yeah,
we're only
so
not going to
it's
get normal. We're not going to go back. We're not
Yeah.
gonna normalize the Marvel Universe is going to be so weird by phase 4 that like I won't be able to explain it to people. Like it feels so like removed from reality now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not upset. I'm confused.
Yeah. No, I love it
Like
though.
the Thor trailer.
I
had-
actually love being
Oh, it's
confused
amazing.
by it.
The Thor trailer had me going like,
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's like this entire world just has to kind of implode on itself at one.
It's,
Yeah.
at
it's
some
escalated
point.
more, I feel, between phase 2 and 3 than phase 1 and 2. I guess that's what I'm
Yes.
struck by.
No,
that's
I
kind of what
definitely
I'm putting
agree with
together.
you
Like
there.
phase 1 and 2 felt like escalation, but on a linear path. This
Yeah.
feels like escalation by way of Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
Like it's just that more.
We've got Jeff
We
Goldblum.
got Jeff
But it feels
Goldblum.
like we're living in the Goldblum. Like it's
that's-
so yeah.
Yeah, being Goldblum.
that.
We're
All right.
playing a lot of jazz.
We got to move on. Captain
Okay.
Marvel. Brie Larson describes her Captain Marvel character, saying, "Let's see. She's a believer in truth and justice, and she is a bridge between Earth and space. She's fighting between the flaws that are within her and all this good that she wants to try and spread and make the world a better place. She can also fly and shoot things out of her hands, and she's really funny." So, kind of tells us everything that we kind of already assumed, I think. But
She's just very excited. She seems like she's a newer
She's
fan,
so
right?
excited.
with it?
She's so excited.
She's excited, which is great.
yeah, that makes me
be
happy to
excited
hear.
about your character. Be excited about the history of that character. It's like great. Yeah, be on board. I like enthusiasm.
And she's adorable. I love
Truly.
Brie Larson. Whenever
Yeah.
I read her quotes, I'm like, you can just see her beaming with pride.
Yeah.
Like, she's Captain Marvel.
Yeah, she really is Captain Marvel in a lot of ways.
And that's our Superman. Like, that's Marvel's, like, big powerhouse. Like, that's our...
Yeah.
Mama's gonna love that movie. Because we got a Superman.
The Mama.
The
Don't,
Mama.
don't take the
Sorry,
article away from her.
I
Thank you.
cannot. It's like being knighted.
But I do like that she says she's fighting between the flaws that are within her and all this good that she wants to try and do. Like, I think that's cool. Also, I think it's important that she says, and she can shoot things out of her hands. Because, like, we haven't, if you think about it, we haven't really seen people shooting energy blasts out of their hands, except for Iron Man, who creates them with
Right.
his suit.
And
And we have
Vision.
Scarlet Witch, who does this thing and can pull people apart and push people away. She kind of like Super Force, basically, from
Right.
Star Wars. And we
Got
have the
Thor
Vision,
with
who
his
can
hammer.
shoot this stuff.
Right.
But we don't have anyone who's going energy blast, energy blast, energy blast.
If it goes full Dragon Ball Z, I'll be stoked.
Oh my god, I can't wait. So, anyway,
It shouldn't go full Dragon Ball Z though.
You don't want
never
2
wanna-
hours of...
don't yell into the
I've got to
mic.
charge. I've got to charge. Oh no, you've cracked my armor. That was holding in my power.
We watched
That's
different
the-
Dragon Ball Z's. Mine was...
That was Why Punch Man. I'm mixing the ones now.
All right, Spider-Man: Homecoming will
One
feature
Punch
an
Man.
Avengers.
I just
Flash-
mixed Why the Last Man
And,
and One Punch
I was
Man.
gonna
It's
let
okay.
it, but I'd watch that.
We've all done
My
it.
world is imploding.
We've all done it. It's okay. Common mistake. Spider-Man: Homecoming will feature an Avengers flashback scene. So this is, possible spoiler. This is where the movie starts. If you don't want to hear any possible spoilers, tune out for a couple minutes. Tune out. Da-da-da-da-da. And we'll do this again when we're done. But tune out now.
But we didn't do that last time. Sorry.
Yeah, we did. So you're probably still like, man, they are still
They're
talking
just
about that
talking a lot.
Stikar.
Stallone is just really...
Man, they are really killing it with this guy.
Why Stallone care about Captain Marvel?
All right, so Heroic Hollywood. Again, spoiler, maybe. The opening scene is set at the end of the Avengers. So it's kind of like what they did with Dawn of Justice, where like you kind of like started Dawn of Justice seeing the destruction from Batman's perspective of Man of Steel.
Which was awesome. That's
That-
one of my favorite sequences. in the
that
movie.
actually was legitimately really cool.
Seeing that felt like a comic, because it felt like you were
Yeah.
reading 2 issues in the same month. Like,
Yeah.
when you read 2
Yeah.
issues, see the perspective, you're like, that's what Spider-Man
Yeah,
felt
it's like you read the event comic, but then
Yes.
like you had like the event tie-in,
I love
and it was like the Batman crossover tie-in. You're like, oh man,
That was one of the
that's-
most comic-y moments of any movie yet. When you
Yeah.
saw the perspective from the other hero's
Yeah,
perspective.
I
that
loved
brought you
it.
back
I
up.
thought it was
amazing.
great. So we see that with the Avengers in Spider-Man, but from the perspective of the villain Adrian Toomes, as played by incredible Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton. Batman.
So and the way it's described here.
Birdman.
Why the Last Man?
So yeah, he discovers that Tony Stark has bankrolled a government organization to handle the mess of the Chitauri
incident.
invasion, the incident, as Netflix calls it, which puts Toomes on a dark path as he decides to steal whatever Chitauri technology he can, which ultimately makes him a full-fledged villain years down the road once Stark puts his company fully out of business. And then they jump forward in time to Civil War, specifically just before the airport battle. So yeah, it seems like they're kind of picking up some pieces and saying, here's what this guy was doing, here's what Spider-Man was loosely doing leading up to this, and now, poof, now we're in the movie. So it seems like there's 5 minutes of kind of flashback setup.
Yeah,
Which I think is cool.
actually prefer that than them revisiting Spider-Man's origin story
It gives
yet
us that.
again.
It gives us like
Yeah.
3 things. It gives us the origin element without going full
Yeah.
origin.
Mm-hmm.
It gives us like context for timing, and it also gives us like we're instantly invested in where Spider-Man was then, because all we got in Civil War was that little YouTube clip. So this
Yeah.
Yeah.
gives us a lot of texture to the universe without actually investing time. Like it's a great like Crypt Notes. Like it's an abridged version of that. So I think it's smart.
Yeah,
And
and I don't need to see him bitten by a radioactive spider.
no,
anymore.
no, we don't
You
need to
know?
see that.
Even my dad knows that, and my dad doesn't do comics.
Stephanie and the Mamaw both agree.
Exactly.
But does Uncle Ben die? If I don't see it, I won't know.
All right, we have an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. minute,
Yes,
but
we
before we
do.
get to that, I want to, we need to take a couple minutes to talk about our sponsor.
Ooh, yummy.
So you already know who it is. I thought I was going to surprise you guys with it, but you already know.
Oh.
Blue Apron.
Yeah. I'm on the email
But I've
chain
been eating
too.
these MVMT watches.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. You're doing it wrong.
I'm
You're
so hungry. I was wondering why. It's not satiating.
You should be eating Blue Apron, who is the #1 fresh ingredient and recipe delivery service in the country, and their mission is to make incredible home cooking accessible to everyone. They have established partnerships with over 150 local farms, fisheries, and ranchers across the United States. As a result, they have seafood that is sourced sustainably, that is under the standards developed in partnership with the Monterey Bay Aquarium Seafood Watch. Their beef, chicken, and pork come from responsibly raised animals. They can be delivered to 99% of the continental U.S. and 99.5% of the food deserts in the United States. Which is,
Oh, that's important.
that's legitimately
That's
very
very
important.
important.
Yeah.
It's new. That's
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah, I know. I saw that in the run. I was like,
Yeah.
I can't wait to say that. That's really cool.
Desert
so,
news.
Yeah. And
if
then-
you live in a food desert, Blue Apron.
Yeah, and then fun fact, you can recycle everything that they send you. As long as it's at least two deliveries worth,
Yeah.
you can put that back in the original box and print up a free one of
Really?
the free labels, and they will.
That's
come and
really
pick it up
cool.
to
I'm learning
recycle.
so much.
Yeah,
That's really cool. Those who spend a lot at restaurants or high-end grocery chains can now spend under $10 per person for a delicious meal, which is quite the deal. Featured upcoming meals, because they always change their meals, as we all know. They're constantly changing their menu. Featured upcoming meals: spinach and fresh mozzarella pizza with olives, bell peppers, and ricotta salada. Can't wait to have that.
Stephanie
This is-
agrees.
Definitely sounds good.
John Dro hunger rage.
Sweet and sour salmon with bok choy, carrot, and ginger fried rice. I'm going to say yes to that one too.
Oh, salmon.
Parmesan crusted chicken with creamy fettuccine and roasted broccoli. If it's got broccoli in it, I say yes. That's one of my. That's
Learned
like
that back in.
That's the black bolt of my vegetables.
Just always.
You
always
just-
The black bolt of veggies for me.
you eat it quietly.
Yeah, well, I eat it quietly because if I exclaim how much I love broccoli,
people get uncomfortable around.
roasted
Oh, right.
broccoli
Yeah, it's
nonetheless.
weird.
Yeah,
I've seen it
it's-
happen.
It's very,
Oh,
it's
no.
explosive.
It's
It's
like
bad.
him with dogs.
Oh
It's
my
just-
god!
it's
And
too
of
much.
course,
Oh, yeah,
the next one, baby broccoli and fontina paninis with hard-boiled egg and arugula salad. Now let me. Another fact: I love arugula salad.
This is just your
So
month.
this is
Blue
my
Apron
this
month.
is
I'm telling
this
you.
is Blue Apron month for me. So let's see. It's we've already said it's $10 per person. So check out this week's menu and get your first 3 meals free with free shipping. By the way, pretty incredible. By going to blueapron.com/Marvel, you will love how good it feels and tastes to create incredible home cooked meals with Blue Apron. Blueapron.com/Marvel. Better way to cook. So
Cool.
yeah. Oh man, that was right in the microphone.
Yep. No. You know what that paper sounds like.
Yeah, everyone's like, oh, that's what paper sounds like
like
on the
hunger.
microphone. Yeah,
Yeah.
all right.
So Agents of Shield.
Hydra Steve, tell us about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. with Doom. No problem.
Yeah.
No problem.
How
I
are
love
you?
making Doom
He's
wait.
in there just making
Yeah.
food.
How are you doing, Hydra Steve?
Hydra Steve, Hydra wife. Good. There's Doom at the Geek and Sundry Legendary Studios.
Cute.
Hey guys, welcome back to another Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Minute with the voice of Doom. Can I tell you guys how excited I am not to be doing another puppet show this week? I'm very excited. Last week's episode was amazing. It was the What If episode. So basically, what if S.H.I.E.L.D. had never happened? What if Hydra had taken over the world? The implications are phenomenally interesting. What happens basically if Captain America loses Winter Soldier? What does that do? We visit the Triskelion, which is still standing in this world. We see Coulson teaching pro-Hydra tactics in a high school. We see May basically in charge of Hydra. We got Madam Hydra, sort of, with Ada. Fascinating stuff. We got into all of the specifics of what the world would look like, what we thought of Grant Ward last week on AfterBuzz TV, because it's not, I'll be honest, I didn't hate it. I didn't hate him in these episodes as much as I thought I might. But check it out. We're gonna be talking about it again tonight. All of the things that are going to happen now that like people are starting to wake up and see what this framework world is like and how they're going to have to escape it. That's all I got. I'm out of time. I'll let you guys get back into the Thor trailer because that Thor trailer though.
Oh, Doom. I saw the time code, by the way. 1 minute, 17 seconds. I'm going to have a talk with Doom.
17
Oh,
seconds
right.
over. Well,
That's
he-
17
he talked about
seconds.
puppets a little bit. And he got a little
He's gotta
rail
shave
with
that.
it.
He's
Come
got-
on now, guys. had talks.
Just who does he think
Come
he
on,
is?
Doom.
Doom. All right, so I think that's a show. I think that's all the time we got. Sorry.
Yeah, there really isn't anything of note to talk about.
Nothing of note to talk about. Did you guys have anything else you wanted to talk about?
Well, at the
Stephanie
end of
and
the show,
memo?
my mom has gifts.
I thought this was the end. Sorry. Never mind. Keep going.
You have gifts?
She fell,
I brought
She fell
gifts.
for your ploy.
You've already given me a gigantic Doctor Strange
Yes, I did.
poster. You don't have to bring more gifts. You should. Now I feel awful that I don't have a gift
That's
for
what
you.
moms do.
That's a good point. My mom would do the same.
Yeah.
That Thor Ragnarok trailer, though, right? Like he was
Yes.
absolutely correct. That
Was
so.
so good.
I want to brag
Yeah.
real quick,
Okay.
if I may.
Thanks for making that trailer, Matt.
Yeah.
You're welcome. You're
Matt
welcome.
Key confirms
everybody.
he made the Thor Ragnarok trailer.
I am actually.
That's why he
Chris
keeps
Hemsworth.
announcing it's the most excited. He's like, I'm most excited for Thor Ragnarok.
He's like,
Is
there you go.
Taika Waititi.
Here I am, everybody. Hello. Taika Waititi.
And I would have gotten away with it too.
If I wasn't Taika Waititi.
So tall.
I know.
So last week on the Screen Junkies, we did a video because like I was kind of complaining around the office. I was like, "Where's the Thor? Like, it's April. It's April. Where's the Thor Ragnarok trailer?" And they were like, "Well, so what if it's April?" And I was like, "No. Like Doctor Strange came out in November. We got our teaser in April. Thor Ragnarok comes out in April. We should be getting a teaser any minute now." And they're like, "Man, it's only like 4 days in." I was like,
Yeah.
"I know. We should still do let's do a video about it. Let's talk about it." So that's what we did. In that video, I said we should be getting it any day now. We'll probably get a teaser or an actual full trailer sometime around Comic-Con. And then I said, they asked me like, what do you want to see in the trailer? And I was kind of explaining a few things. And I said, and then the end of the trailer has to be Hulk and Thor leaping at each other in the gladiator ring to punch each other out. But it cuts out right before we see the punch. And we got a trailer
So-
2 days later with it ending that way. And I was like, I was very proud of myself.
Coy
That's
confirms
great.
Matt Key is Thor Ragnarok.
Coy confirms Matt Key is full of himself. That's what it should have been.
Matt Key loves Matt Key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to go that far. Matt Key wants to love Matt Key.
That's cool. You're tapped into the universe.
I'm certainly tapped into this movie. Like it's like I've
With
said.
good reason. My God, this trailer.
Well, it's
Yes,
I'm-
this trailer.
I'm just glad that everyone has finally seen some of like the bits that I saw at Comic-Con because like and like that was just like I wasn't knowing what to expect when I saw that. So I was like, what did I just see? That was madness. And now like
the helm. Yeah.
Oh, wow. I love it.
Just turned into a cartoon.
That's
wolf.
what
did.
happens when Matt eats broccoli too.
Yeah. You've seen it. So let's talk about it.
All right.
I'm
Did
gonna throw
play
it to you.
it and talk over it? What do we
Hydra
wanna
Steve,
do?
can we play that without getting in trouble? Do you know? All right. Well, while you're doing
Okay.
that, you
Yeah.
tell us. Hydra Steve is going to see if he can prep the trailer for us.
Yeah.
In the meantime, we'll just talk. We'll just talk.
All right.
So let's just start with the basic. Markia,
Okay.
favorite moment.
Oh.
She liked it, I
That's
think.
that's
The
so
whole thing.
difficult. That's so difficult.
All
I mean,
right, do
okay,
you
well the my absolute favorite moment, I think, is a lot of people's favorite moment where it's like, and I give you your incredible burst through the door. Yes!
Yeah.
I know him. That's my friend from work.
He's a friend from work.
A friend from work.
The best.
It's
I
like
loved
So
it.
That's-
the Daryl comedy feel. Like it's so
Yeah.
that teaser. It's so like his comedy is so perfectly dry. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
feel
And it's
sophomoric.
perfect Thor. That's
Yeah.
Thor. That's what he's
Yeah.
been this entire time. It's
He just hasn't been unlocked the
wonderful.
right way. Hydra Steve, you have it pulled up there. You want to go? You want to play it? Great, let's do it. So we're gonna kind of talk through it a little bit. So don't get too annoyed with this, everybody at home.
Yeah, because we're doing a picture in a picture.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that this is Muspelheim.
All right.
That's what I think. I think
you
this
say
is
that.
Muspelheim.
I say it's a record scratch meme, but continue.
Now this part is tremendously cool.
This I love. Okay, tell me that this has to be her like doing Hand of Glory.
Oh no, that's exactly what that is.
Exactly.
Like, so here's the deal with Hela, everybody. Hela can actually kill gods just by touching them.
Yes.
She's incredibly powerful. She is legitimately the goddess of death.
and she totally looks like that girl that you went to high school with.
The hottest girl in high school.
Yeah. I'm not going to say the name of the high school girl that I'm thinking of. Here he is on Sakaar. For the first
Thor.
time, Thor. Yeah, here's
And
Valkyrie.
there's Valkyrie.
Oh, that's one of my, like that's such a rock album shot. Like,
Yeah.
like
Yes.
that's like
There's so much rock album imagery
Oh,
in this.
it's-
There's so many, like, I remember this in my dad's album collection from
no,
1979.
this is like
82.
I mean, like this is a Led Zeppelin album cover. Every single
Yeah.
shot.
You see the Grandmaster's guards are jamming out. They're
That
doing
shot.
like air guitar on their tridents.
The shot of Carl Urban, man. The
Oh,
fucking-
the,
yeah.
well, and that's by the way.
Scourge.
Oh, hold on. Did I miss the Kirby lines? Because I love the Kirby lines so much. Do we see the Kirby lines? Oh, look at the Kirby lines. You can see the Kirby lines in the door that the
Yeah,
Hulk
and
is
in the
about to come out of,
background,
and then in
yeah.
the background, like the fact that they have like the cosmic, like New Gods Kirby
And-
lines. Oh,
They have that, and then
love
here
it.
it is.
There's a Wilder People reference in the background.
No, not here. That was at the beginning.
Right, but the
Yeah.
fact that it exists in this trailer.
Oh, look. I know him from work. Love it.
We know each other. He's a friend from work.
And he's like, dude,
Love
keep it low.
Love it.
Like,
There it is. Boom.
Helmsworth finally gets to play Thor. Like,
Yeah.
you know
Thor,
what I mean?
Thor.
Like,
Yeah.
And it's 90 seconds. It doesn't tell us anything, but it gives us so
the
much.
tone.
It
It
tells
gives
the
us
tone.
every bit of the pacing, the
Yeah.
tone, the crazy, the
Yeah.
madness.
Yeah.
And
It
like
really,
the
really
imagery,
does.
the imagery is enough for me to be. I'm catching up to your excitement. Like you were saying, this is your.
You're like excited.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
This trailer sold me in so many ways, and it's not the Spider-Man trailer that told me too much. It's not the Guardians of the Galaxy trailer 3 that I didn't want because I felt like it told me too much.
Yeah, didn't need the dancing scene, but
Yeah, like it didn't give me the things that. This is everything I wanted it to be and nothing I didn't want it to be.
Exactly.
Like the haircut fit, the long
Yep.
hair fit, the way
Yep.
she looked was awesome. Like all of the imagery translated to 3D was perfect.
Yeah.
And I was afraid of that, to be honest. I saw
Yeah.
some of the screenshots and I was like, how will that play moving? And then it did.
and
Yeah.
this it totally
Then
does.
That shot right there.
God, it's so good. It's so
Yeah,
good.
it's Hela with the helmet.
Hela with
Although
her
I like
helmet,
to
yeah.
call her Hela because
Hela?
she's a heel. So
Wow.
so,
Well done.
Wrestling.
It's
Wow.
wrestling. Yeah.
So, to the uninitiated, the non-comic fans, what do you guys think of the trailer? I'm very curious what it looks like because this is deep comics. This is, I
This
mean, as
is-
far as
yeah.
Thor goes, that is a hella.
you realize that like was behind them.
Yeah, but they've seen the trailer. I showed them like 10
Right.
times.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
We watched
that's-
it
Where have
moments
they been
before
the
we
last-
got
It's
here.
like, oh, do I know you? You're Koi. Oh, God.
I'm gonna just ignore my family real quick. Oh, you guys can watch it too. It's cool. Yeah. It's fine.
I am not a big Thor fan. Never
Mm-hmm.
have been. I'm finally a Thor fan.
Oh.
I'm actually excited about this movie for the first time.
Wow.
Nice.
So the
And so
trailer worked.
they've turned me onto the Thor side.
The Thor side, the Thor.
Thor side.
Mama.
It looks really interesting. I
Perfect.
like the.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah.
want to see more of that.
It looks fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does look
And
fun.
the other
Yes.
movies looked forced.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
the
They were
second
trying
one,
too hard.
Yeah, the second one was, kind of muddled. You
Yeah.
know,
I
I
feel
kind
like-
of think of it as average and muddled, like
Yeah,
average
the-
action.
Exactly.
The
You know.
the second one had some fun set pieces, like when the reality was ripping and like Thor was flying through the portals and like fighting Malekith. Like that was a
Yeah.
cool set piece.
Yeah.
But
I like Jane having more to do than,
Yeah.
so. But
I like the Shakespearean flavor they built in the first one, and I liked the war flavor they built in the second one. This one looks like the acid road trip dream I wanted, and that throws all that out the window, and
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
the,
Like,
the
it's
colors
funny.
are vivid.
Like, I
Yeah.
love how the world building worked, and I was like, can't wait for 3, maybe they'll finally do it. And then, like, they were like, what if we throw all that out? And I was like, what if you do? Okay.
What if
Like,
you
no
do?
problem.
You should.
Please,
Like,
man.
Why
let's do
not?
it.
Okay.
I wish that you would do
Yeah,
that.
and then like all of a sudden I learned I was like I'm just brand new, and that's
Yeah.
great because that's
Yeah.
hard to do with the world building, and that's hard to do in a 12 installment cinematic universe.
Yeah.
like it's really hard to just be like,
That's
what if
true.
nothing?
Yeah. Yeah.
That is how you convert new watchers.
That's why I wanted to know new watchers
Right.
because I know neither of you are giant Thor fans, and but Chris Hemsworth.
But huge movie
Oh
fans.
yeah, Chris Hellman.
See, yeah,
Oh, well.
everyone's a fan of Hemsworth.
Yeah.
We don't mind watching the movies because we enjoy what we're seeing.
Mm-hmm.
But if you give us content
Yeah.
and actual enjoyability beyond just the visual,
Yeah,
then I'm
you'll go
hooked.
back and watch it
Nice.
more.
Well, and
Watch
more and
it
more
again.
content is going to continue to bring you back. Like,
Right,
And I think that is like certainly like Dark World was. I mean, it's middling.
know.
It was middling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It was. I mean, and then it was also like you had really great characters in it. I mean, Lady Sif, pulling it out and everything, but it just you didn't care.
Exactly.
Didn't care about any of it.
Yeah.
And
Didn't care about the characters
and-
beyond the story.
I
Yeah.
can't really get into it because I think I would get my friend in trouble, but I've heard about some pretty specific production troubles that they had with that movie. Where,
Oh, okay. That would make some sense
yeah.
then.
So,
Okay. But hey, we got Thor 3 now.
yeah.
So-
And Thor 3
Finally,
looks like, and again, like based on what I saw, because I've still like, I mean, I hate to be like me, but like it was like I saw this like stuff at Comic-Con last year where it was like they showed Fenris Wolf, they showed Surtur, they showed spaceships flying through space, not just on planets, and it's just like, what in the living hell is this movie? Like, what is going on with this
Right.
movie? It's very much like every prog rock album cover ever, all smashed into one.
And they
like,
showed
it's-
us just enough of each character in the teaser that I didn't feel like I learned too much, but I also know that they're like Heimdall. That shot of Heimdall.
What's
going on?
Right?
Like, I needed to know Idris Elba was there.
Yeah, it's like,
I
are we
always
talking
want-
are we talking flashback here? Because his hair is long.
Got that
He's-
awesome
I don't
beard.
think
He
we
doesn't
are.
have to wear the helmet, which
I
he
don't
didn't
think we
like.
are.
He didn't like that
So-
helmet.
No, it was too heavy.
I don't think
you
we
know?
are.
But like
I don't
that's.
think it's flashback.
I think it's like he's fighting for the end of days, like Ragnarok. I think
Which
that's
is
him.
I think he escaped the destruction of Asgard and is kind of
And he's-
fighting on the outskirts of it.
he's helping
yeah.
out.
Right.
I was excited to see him.
Yeah, as soon as you
Right?
see Idris Elba in any trailer, you're like, well,
I
that's
was
my
like,
movie.
what was his name again? Yes, I'm glad he's there.
Yeah,
Wow.
Idris Elba as
Idris
Heimdall.
Elba.
Yeah.
And Idris Elba
and he
and
doesn't
Jeff
have
Goldblum
his
in one
Just
movie.
he
keep
doesn't
saying
have
his
his
name, Idris
armor.
Elba.
He doesn't have his armor,
Right.
and the going theory on his armor is that he can see every soul in the universe because it has the Soul Stone.
Ah.
If you
And then
look-
also his eyes glow just about the same colors as Soul Stone, so maybe it's somewhere. Maybe it's like a chest thing, and he
know.
just had to compensate with the the costume.
But, like,
costume,
what-
I'm sorry, his uniform.
his uniform, his
Yeah.
armor. But what if, Hela attacks, wants the Soul Stone? Why does she want the Soul Stone? Because there's this dude named Thanos who wants it, and she's trying to work with them because she's actually deaf. Like, there's
Yeah.
so many fun little bitty things that you can kind of start to pick apart and wonder about.
They
So-
better not kill Heimdall. They're gonna kill Heimdall.
They're gonna. They're gonna. Kill. I think a lot of people are gonna die in this.
He
But,
is
they're
my
gonna
favorite
have
of
to.
those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but here's
Yeah.
the deal: if they're gods, so
They
in
can
the
always
comics,
cycle.
the
Yeah.
gods can kind of
That's
cycle
true.
back. Like even Odin has to go into his deep Odin sleep, which is basically like death, and then he resurrects himself basically. So
Now, I love this shot, but this can't. My giant X-Men heart wants that to be a shot of Bishop so bad.
oh my god!
Look at that image! Imagine,
of
imagine
his
Bishop.
eyes.
Imagine if he was Bishop and the
that
X-Men
giant
actually
jam over his
existed.
eye? Oh, that
What
would
if
be
we actually had
amazing.
a X-Men universe?
Oh.
All right, so let's get
Fox
into it.
doesn't get him.
No,
Let's
No.
don't deserve him.
No.
Logan though. Actually, that's a
Oh.
perfect example.
Oh.
Logan, X-Men Origins Wolverine got us Logan. If Thor 1 and 2, I consider Thor 1 and 2 great thirds of movies. If they led to Thor 3 by way of throwing it all away, then hell yeah.
Yeah.
Ragnarok, yeah.
I'm all about like rag and rockin' with this. So let's break it down a little bit. The hellish chain dimension that we saw. We
Yes.
don't know where it is. We don't know what it is. But and I think I may have actually gotten this wrong when I was on Screen Junkies the other day.
Could
I
it be just like quick speculation? Sorry,
Sure.
I
No.
interrupted
No.
you.
Interrupt all the way.
Could it be maybe this is the part? Well, it depends on the storyline, but like, could this be with the whole David Blake storyline, and then like he is Thor's killed, and then he goes to this like fiery dimension. He's right in front of what the God Devourer, and then Loki ends up saving him. By
interesting.
using Silver Surfer's like power to help
The
form,
power cosmic.
to help form another. I'm gonna mispronounce it. Thor's hammer.
Mjolnir.
Mjolnir.
Mjolnir. We got you. Girl.
Meow, meow.
Mjolnir.
Yeah, meow meow. And then forms that to then it zooms to Thor, and then that helps save him. So that might be
Are you
he's
saying
dead
this is
and
at
he's
the
in front
beginning
of
or the end?
I would say that's at the end,
The only
or like
problem.
one of
he has
those
his long
record
hair.
scratch moments.
He has his long hair.
That's
And
right.
here's what I was thinking.
When he dies, he reverts back to form.
Maybe I don't know. Like
Yeah.
I have no idea what this is, in any way.
Besides an homage to the 80s and 90s.
Yes.
Yeah, besides a great 80s action
but
cover.
but when I was on Screen Junkies on Monday analyzing it, I said that I thought it was probably like a flash forward, and the movie star was like, "You're probably wondering how I ended up this way." Like he's directly addressing camera, like in that shot. Like Taika Waititi's like, "Sure, direct address. Deadpool does it. So can Thor." And I'm on board. And maybe I'm wrong. Like maybe it just like looked like that's what it looked. But that's what it looks like in the trailer. Is that's what he's doing. I initially thought it was a flash forward, and that they were gonna like after like they were going to end right before you saw what the actual threat was or where he
Mm-hmm.
actually was, and then go 2 weeks earlier, and then go like back in time, and then
he's in Darren's. Darren.
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 Yeah, Darren. What's his?
Darren.
Daryl.
Oh,
Daryl.
Daryl.
And then he's just like chilling in Daryl's
chilling
place.
in Daryl's place. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But that can't be because he's got his long hair. So unless he grows hair incredibly fast, he's a god. Maybe he does.
I don't believe that.
I don't. But I
Out
don't
of
think that-
everything, I don't
so
believe
I
that.
think
That's
that
the
that's
one. That's too
I
far.
draw the line.
yeah. I think that's probably legitimately where the movie starts and it goes forward like in a just normal narrative way. So I think maybe he's looking for Odin, and he ends up in this dimension and he ends up being caught, and then he has to escape it.
Okay, but I mean, for it to be a true record scratch moment, it has to take place further in the narrative, and then you get to that point.
I mean, yes,
I mean, if
but
it
it doesn't
is
have.
that-
But it doesn't have to be the record scratch, and the fact that he has his long hair there seems to communicate to me this is before all of the Planet Hulk, Sakaar.
That does make
Stuff.
a lot of sense. It'd be before here, where he's
Yeah.
been captured by a Valkyrie.
Because he's about to lose his hair here, so
Mm-hmm. Well, gladiators don't need hair.
gladiators don't, and I'm glad to see his haircut. Whatever, I don't care. Like it's hair, whatever. But because he has his long hair there, and we know he gets his hair cut, and probably doesn't have his long hair at the end of the movie, that can't be at the end of the movie. That has to be at the beginning of the movie. So,
It is a sound theory.
thank you for my. Thank you for that. Anyway, I really think he ends up going to Muspelheim to look for Odin. It's either that or he ends up that's Niflheim where Hela is from, and he goes there thinking maybe she had something to do with Odin, or maybe Odin sends him down there and he doesn't know it's Loki. There's a lot of things that it could be, but I think he ends up going down there on suspicion of Odin being like missing, or because he hears Hela's gotten loose or something.
Can we talk about the two most important parts of the trailer?
Of course.
Jeff Goldblum and Jeff Goldblum.
Those are the two most important parts of the trailer. The other two most important parts of the trailer. The wings on his helmet. Like the shot of him pulling it down, the wings going up was so exciting.
That is very cool.
That was
And the
extremely-
Loki knife flip.
The
'Cause we
Loki
didn't know
knife
how-
flip
Oh,
is
yeah.
We
legitimately
didn't know how
cool.
big of a part Loki was going to have. Like, they were kind of trying to keep it cut, and then all of a sudden they had that, like, newsstand picture of them two sitting. I was like, oh, Loki's in
Yeah.
this. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so glad they put... This felt like a really good trailer to appease both American comic fans, I mean, just the general comic fans and general people. Like, this
Yeah.
felt like it just appeased everyone.
Yeah.
Because, like, the average moviegoer sees, like, oh, look, the guy who played Loki's back. Oh, Jeff Goldblum's here. Oh, this. And then at the same time, like, these are crazy comic references.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a really well put together for just everyone to be excited.
I totally agree.
And that moment was so, like, you know, going into battle, but it had wings. So I was just
Yeah.
excited.
So we've got Goldblum pulled up. Goldblum's playing a character named the Grandmaster. The Grandmaster in the comics typically does exactly what Goldblum does. He doesn't have his own like gladiator pit, but he does kind of go to these different beings and smash them together and make them fight. I think he was responsible for Contest of Champions in like '83. And I'm pretty sure he was in the revamp that they
Yeah, he
just
popped
released
up
a
in the
couple
new one, I
years
think.
ago, like during Marvel Now's movement. But his big thing is like making heroes and villains and the strongest in the universe fight each other.
Yeah.
It works. And he loves fighting in the games too. Like I think that it's him that he plays against Thor or Thanos for one of the stones during the Thanos quest. So, which is one of my favorite comics. I think it was him, and they played like this weird virtual reality version of chess, and Thanos ended up winning, and he's like, "You won. Here's the stone." Like he obeys, like he has like a code of ethics and everything. So, but it seems like here they're turning him into more like the leader of Sakaar, basically, like in Planet Hulk. And I think Tessa Thompson's character, the Valkyrie, is the character who the Hulk fell in love with. I can't remember her name, but like they ended up having their baby, the next Hulk. I'm forgetting all these names.
Right.
Scar?
Scar. Was that his? Was it Scar?
Yeah.
Was it Scar?
That's why I thought Sakaar was silly.
I was like, yeah, it was Scar, wasn't it? I second guessed myself. I was like, it's Scar, but it's not Scar. No, it's not Scar. In fact, I think that's Hulk's name. I think they all refer to him as the Green Scar, the Great Green Scar, because that's what they called him in the comics was the Scar or the Great Scar.
Right.
So I think Hulk or Thor keeps hearing all these rumors
then he
about this
meets him.
gladiator that he's got to fight, and they're like, he's our champion. You're gonna have to fight him. You're probably not gonna beat him. He's this giant green behemoth, and he's probably like, yes, I fought something like that before. His name is Scar. Okay.
Yeah.
And then it gets into the ring, and it actually is at the Hulk. And I think that's why he's like, yes! This is like,
I can't wait for that build up because it's
That's gonna be so
like, even
great.
knowing the payoff,
yeah,
I still
No,
can't wait
it's
for the
still-
build-up.
because the
It's gonna be
payoff's worth
great.
it for the to give the tone joke, like the
Yeah.
style of humor.
Something that I'm wondering, because like this is obviously
Sure.
like Planet Hulk,
Sure.
and everything's like, okay, so how did Hulk get here for this? Because I'm thinking they're going to change the origins with that. I doubt that he's been banished by anybody to
Yeah.
this particular planet.
I don't think there was an Illuminati thing, yeah.
Yeah, no. So you weren't supposed to show that yet. That was the end of show meme. I even
It's okay.
labeled it
It's
end
okay.
of show meme.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's my favorite.
It is the best.
Yeah. So maybe, how they had with Civil War when it was like, we were tracking his plane and then, it looks like it went silent here around
Yeah.
there. So he ripped out whatever they were tracking, threw it out, and then maybe
Sure.
he just zoomed off.
That's
Possibility.
it's possible that
I'm
that's
just
what
trying
happened.
to figure out how they got him on Sakaar.
It's also entirely possible that the Grandmaster knows who the Hulk is, heard about him, and was like, "Well, I want him to fight," and kidnapped him. Like that's because that's what the Grandmaster does.
He just
Like,
pulls
Very,
your own
very
planets and
possible.
plops them.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that's kind of what I'm actually kind of hoping happened.
Okay.
It saves you a lot of story time.
But
It definitely would.
but I could also see like, maybe the movie even starting with Bruce Banner in that Quinjet and just flying off
Yeah.
into space, accidentally getting into a portal or something. Like I don't know, but
Because anything this weird is going to be fine. Like whatever storyline they go. Can we
Yeah.
talk about how cool Tessa Thompson looks as Valkyrie? Can we just
Oh,
mention
yeah, let's do it.
Yes.
the glory that is Tessa
Go-
Thompson?
go for it. Do
now,
it.
Tessa Thompson in Creed. Creed is an incredible movie in that it does the prequel, reboot, sequel thing that Star
Yeah.
Trek did so well, but with an 80s franchise,
Yeah.
little known thing called Rocky. Now, Tessa Thompson manages to be a strong enough actress to play off Michael B. Jordan and Stallone, and I didn't know this actress until that movie.
Yeah.
And I wanted her in everything. And now she's freaking Valkyrie. Like
Yeah.
she is such a
Yeah.
presence. She's so like she reads as so intelligent, but like sexy and smart. Like intelligent and smart. She just reads as so like commanding.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
that's so cool to see someone wearing just a simple leather getup have that much presence that you're like, oh, she could fight Thor. I just met her.
yeah,
Yeah.
So I love that she had like 15 seconds of screen time, and I already knew I wanted more.
yeah.
I knew I was excited about Goldblum. I knew I was excited about her, but like each of these moments, just like it fulfilled
Just
that.
sold it even
Right.
more. Yeah. Like it verified how excited you were.
Yeah.
So this like this is
This right
such an album cover. Like I'm just so in love with this one shot. Like this one shot alone gets like I'll go see this on IMAX. Like just from
Yeah.
this like hey, yeah, that looks good. So in this shot we see all the Valkyrie. There's a lot of them fighting against Hela, who's like kind of off to the center right of the screen
They
there.
call it the Valkyr when it's more than one.
Maybe I don't know how to
Platypus.
I don't know how to parse Valkyrie. But maybe. But they're all on Pegasi. Did I do that correctly?
Nice. Yes.
Murder of Pegasus.
A murder of Pegasi.
Like Crow.
Right.
A murderous crow of Pegasi.
Yeah, that's how it's done.
So they all have their own Pegasus that they ride. They all have their swords drawn. They're all attacking Hela, and she basically wipes them all out. I think that's what happens. I think this is a flashback to when Hela was initially captured. I don't know what her intention was. I don't know. Like I've heard some things that they guard Valhalla. And Hela was like, no, I'm the queen of the dead. I should have Valhalla too. Like, she's coming to invade it. I don't know. All I know is that, according to the plot summaries, Odin imprisons her. And is like, nope, you're done. You're going to prison. And she's been there for eons. And
Right.
she's super upset when she gets out.
a bit irritated.
A bit irritable. Sure.
Irritated.
But in this shot, like, I think that might be Tessa Thompson who's, like, falling to her
there's-
doom.
Yeah.
And then somehow gets onto Sakaar. I think probably every single last one of her like Valkyrie sisters were wiped out. She ran away or got away, retreated, whatever, ended up on Sakaar, and she's been hiding out there ever since. And I think like Sakaar has just become a way of life for her because that's what she has to do to survive. So when Thor shows up, she's like, "Oh no, you're going to the ring. I can't have you exposing me for who I actually am."
Right.
I think that's what's going on there. That's context clues. That's what I'm piecing
Interesting.
together.
I like Sakaar as being a type of Vegas where everybody just ends up there.
Yeah,
At
I
some
love it.
point.
Yeah,
And
it's-
in learns in 3
Yeah.
days is too much.
yeah.
Yes.
I feel
no
like
more than 3 days.
No more than 3 days ever.
No.
72 hours for anyone who's never been to
my
Vegas.
God.
Don't do more. The thing I like most about this trailer is it feels like the first time we've steered away from Feige's vision. Because Kevin Feige set out this brutal, like amazing 10-year plan, and we're coming to the end of that. And I got worried this feels like the first time that we had to make a giant leap in a direction that wasn't in the plan. And if this is the leap we take, then we're in good hands.
Yeah.
That's kind of like when the trailer ended, I was like, oh, this couldn't have been what they planned on.
Yeah.
Good. Like
Yeah.
it shows we're learning from mistakes. It shows we're shaping a universe. It shows that it's still within canon-ish, but we're not living by these. It's like we're playing with pencils instead of inks. Like we're allowing things to be in a
like
certain
that.
guideline without actually stressing about it. Because none of this feels like the first two, but it doesn't hurt the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. And that gives me hope for things going forward, that we don't have to stress so much about things working together. Because that's why we haven't had the Netflix thing. Like we haven't been able to blend because there's such stringent guidelines. And this trailer gives me so much hope in Phase 4 onward.
Yeah. All right, we've got to move on because
Yes.
we need to shut down. But
Scourge.
Scourge, do you want to talk about Scourge real quick?
I
Go
mean,
for
we
it.
should.
No,
I mean,
go for
they
it.
do like a quick shot in it, right? And
Yeah,
it seems to
of
be
Carl
like
Urban.
of Carl Urban, but it seems to be like the ultimate shot
The
where
shot
you have
of.
the shot. Yes, I mean we shouldn't. I mean, because that's such an ultimate.
Be fair with your spoilers.
It's a really it's a really
okay.
great shot. It tips off to a really great moment for this particular character, Scourge, where
From the comics.
and let's just say it's him on a bridge. Okay, you know Gandalf, where it's like this far and no further.
You shall not
it's
pass.
like
Yeah.
you shall not pass. It's
This is
it's
That's
like
his
that.
shall not pass.
It's like that moment.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's
You are talking about the Walt Simonson run from like 85, 86 called Rockin' Ragnarok, I believe. Is what
Okay.
it, or Ragnarok and Roll. That's what that's
the other pun on rock and roll and Ragnarok.
Right.
yeah. I think that's the run that you're talking about where like he defends Asgard against the forces of Malekith and Surtur.
right. And he
and
picks
it's-
up 2 machine guns and he just
Ick. It is epic. It's
Yeah.
one of his best moments
It's-
as a character. Yeah.
it really is.
So one of the I actually I responded to this moment in a big way too, here's my thinking. Going off of what you're saying, I think that this movie is a combination of the Simonson run of Ragnarok and Planet Hulk,
Wow, yes.
and I think that Malekith was the big he was the big bad of that entire series, except that he was trying to get Surtur out of prison. And Surtur is like, it took Odin and his 2 brothers to defeat him, and 2 of those brothers died. That's how powerful Surtur is.
Yeah.
So if they release Surtur and they have Hela, there's no fighting them, really. You know, especially if Odin's out of commission and no one knows where he is, which is probably why they're trying to find him, because Hela's wreaking havoc. I think she's trying to free Surtur from his fiery dungeon of Muspelheim to unleash him on Asgard fully and just erase it,
Right.
obliterate it. I think that's what's going on. Anyway, let's go to Coy. Do you have any other things that you want to say? Okay, we got guests. Well, we gotta wait for it for a second. Anything else on Thor Ragnarok? Because we have to start wrapping up.
In conclusion, it looks better than I expected, and I expected a lot. It looks more like... It is Guardians-y, and I knew it would be, but it also feels more 80s than Guardians-y in its own way. Like, it has a
Yeah.
different Guardians-esque flavor. It's like, if Guardians of the Galaxy is like Baskin-Robbins, this feels like Ben & Jerry's. They're both ice cream, and they're both delicious, but it's a different version of it.
It's a okay.
Yeah.
So I like that it felt
Ben &
different,
Jerry's.
and I definitely love the way the Marvel Universe is going. And like I said, this feels like the thing that wasn't scripted yet, and it gives me a lot of faith in the new foundation. 'Cause
Yeah.
I don't want things to get stale, and it does not go that
No,
way.
it does not. All right, let's move on to the Merry Marvelites.
Yes. So shout outs. Donovan Hunter at Movie Buff. Today's my birthday. Can I get a birthday shout out on the next show?
Birthday!
Happy birthday,
shout
Donovan.
Out, Donovan
Yes.
Hunter.
And continuing with shout outs, these are shout outs for y'all people: Glorious Greg, Daniel Drew, Ricky Alsace, Max Russell, Jacques. Oh, Jacques. Yeah.
Jacques the
like
Jakes.
Yeah. Elan G. Rosario. Sorry if Alan G. Rosario.
She's a big Doctor Strange fan with me.
Oh.
We talk on Twitter.
Nice.
Don't worry about it.
We're totes
Eric
cool.
Sundman. Well, you know we love you. Purple Jeebus OG. And Evan at Harris EV9.
Those are
shout
like our
outs to
OG
y'all.
hardcore Marvelites.
Yeah.
I love
Nice.
those names.
Shout
Yeah,
outs,
those.
y'all.
Yeah. Those
Yeah,
are hardcore
we've got
Marvelites.
a series of questions. We'll answer those on Twitter, though. We answered a lot of questions just throughout the regular.
Oh, are there any character interactions you're excited to see in Infinity War?
Right.
I really want
This
to
is
see
from
Doctor Strange.
Jocelyn at Bad Wolf Bay 10.
I want to see Doctor Strange and Ebony Maw.
Oh, Ebony Maw would be a good one.
Ebony Maw is one of the generals that works with Thanos, and I want to see that.
Yeah.
So because that's
She's
a
one
big,
of the 5. There's her,
Yeah.
Super Giant,
Black
Proxima Midnight,
Dwarf, yeah.
Black Dwarf, and then
Corvus
Corvus
Glaive.
Glaive.
Spider-Man and Star-Lord.
Oh, that is a
Oh.
good one. That's a good one.
That's
Do you
my,
have one?
that's my big moment.
Yeah, Thanos and anybody. Because
Fair enough.
Wow.
Is he gonna stand though? Because I'd like to see that shot. I'd like to see the stand with Thanos shot.
I just kind of want him to just stay in the
That's the
chair.
moment. That's the-
I just
that's
want
the
the chair
change.
to hover. I want it to be like a Dalek.
Yeah.
Pat.
Yes. Yeah, we answered Ashley Houchkin's question. Oh wait, how big a role do you see Doctor Strange having? We did not answer. Question.
I think that here's what I want to see from this. I want to see Doctor Strange and Loki and Thor all teaming up to go take on Hela and search her together. And I think maybe Odin ends up being kind of pulled into that. Like, it would be amazing to see Doctor Strange like, fine, I'll do my magic to save the world. Like, I would love that. So that's I know that he's going to play a
Well-
significant role in probably like the end of the second act, beginning of the third to help find Odin.
Yeah. Oh, because he wouldn't really be able to do much of anything
Yeah.
against Hela
Yeah.
because she's
Either
an
that-
Asgardian, so
either
they're
that-
resistant to magic.
Or it starts there, and Doctor Strange sends him to Muspelheim, and that's how he ends up in like the fiery dimension.
It's
is
like, oops.
Strange sends him there, like looking for Odin.
Yeah, be like,
So-
hey, he's there somewhere. Go find
He's
him.
there somewhere. Good luck.
So at Trade to Smooth _ how would you guys feel if they introduced Gambit and X-Force? Did we talk about this one already?
I would be fine with it.
I
it
would
is.
like it because I need it to start
I
happening.
just
Gambit
want to
is
see Gambit.
Gambit.
Yeah, I want to see Gambit.
See Tates
Yeah.
and my Gambit close.
See
Che
Tates?
Tates.
I just want my
Che
Che
Tates.
Che
Tates.
Tates.
Chates.
Train toots.
Yeah, just need Che Tates to
All right.
dance to some Genuine. From
Gambit likes
Damien,
Genuine, too.
he does like Genuine. At Han Cholo. Led Zeppelin and hashtag MCU movie is what we needed. With Guardians
Mm-hmm.
of the Galaxy Volume 2, I'm just waiting for, now that's what I call Marvel soundtrack.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Which is lovely, and I would buy all the volumes. And then the final thing was the Thor meme.
Thor
that
meme. There we go.
Yeah, it's just it's fun.
Yes.
It's
That's so fun.
My favorite moment.
All right, we have gifts from Mama Jandro and Mama.
Well, Mama.
Mama.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
That is your copy.
Oh, thank you.
What is this? What is this?
It's Amethyst, the Platinum Series,
Oh,
and it's written
oh my
by
God.
Stephanie.
My mom's
Hey, hey,
It is
that's
my book.
awesome.
Oh my God, this is so
You wrote
great.
a book.
It's
Stephanie wrote a book.
nice.
That's amazing. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
You're
for
welcome.
this.
And it's
Thank
in
you.
comic book sleeves. I
I
didn't want them
It's
to get
really
damaged in the
protected.
travel.
Oh, that's so
Oh, I
nice.
appreciate
Thank
that
you.
so much. Thank you.
You are
Yeah,
welcome.
we will read these.
Heck yeah.
And I ran into some Marvelites
Oh.
on our
Ooh.
travels.
Did you?
We were supposed to have a direct flight.
Uh-huh.
There were storms. We got rerouted to Chicago and got stranded with some lovely Marvelites.
Oh, that's awesome.
They are Stephanie and Lizzie, and
Hi,
their
Stephanie and
best
Lizzie.
friend, Matt Coy at WonderCon, was very excited to meet him.
Oh, that's cool. Oh,
And
WonderCon was fun.
They were excited to meet the mother of Coy. So we bonded, and they were coming to LA to get married.
Oh,
So congratulations to Stephanie and Lizzie on their wedding.
Congratulations.
So
nice to
that
love
was our
that.
wedding gift that they got to meet. Almost Coy.
Oh.
You're welcome.
That's so cool.
WonderCon was crazy. That
Yeah,
so
WonderCon
fun.
was great.
Everyone I met, you guys were great.
We got it. Yeah, everyone that we met, you guys are awesome, but we got to wrap. I'm really sorry. That's an hour and a half show. All right. At the Matt Key is my Twitter. That's probably the only place you'll find me ever on social media.
Right. You'll find me
I'm
on
really
Instagram
bad.
and Twitter at Markeia McCarty, MarkeiaMcCarty, and Snapchat is Darth Thinmints. Darth is in Vader, Thinmints is in Girl Scout cookies.
Instagram and Twitter at CoyJandreau and at WonderCon again next year because that was so much fun. You guys are great.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us, Jandro ladies. We
you.
got to go.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.